Asashiburi, this is ASASHI Arthuro here, and this is the first time in 3 years that I've actually doing a Summoner's War video. Okay, so the update just released yesterday as of me recording this video, which is on the 30th of June. So there's this new dungeon called the Spiritual Realm. Okay, so today I will be doing a free-to-play video on how to clear Spiritual Realm B10 with monsters you can acquire easily, 100% chance. So, free-to-play guide. So today we will be going with Verd, Akhamamir, Randy, Loren, and who's this guy? Who's the girl again? The totem girl, Riley. Okay, so basically, very simple. This team basically works where you just need a crit. Then you must be wondering, why am I using Loren and Riley? Okay, I'll get to that later. I will start the run first so you can see how the run goes. So basically, this run works with, firstly, Randy going first, and then you will have Loren, Verd, and whatever comes next. So Randy has to come first. The rest can go accordingly as much as whatever you want it to be. But Randy must come first because Randy is your crit buffer and also your defense buffer. So Randy you can get from the very first part of your Spiritual Realm in your challenge, in your Summoner's challenge. So Randy, what he basically does is his skill 3 actually buffs your defense and your crit rate for 3 turns. So in this team where you actually need a crit, the boss actually reduces your overall crit by 50%. It halves your crit. Halves. So you need to also increase your crit rate. Plus also you get 5% crit rate for every buff you have. So this is why Riley comes in play, because she buffs every single time. And you'll be wondering, why is Riley even here? So Riley actually has 3 buff skills out of her 4 skills. Only if your Riley actually runs out of skill to use, then she will use her skill 1, which attacks. So basically most of the time she's just buffing your team, giving them extra attack bar. And also she actually helps you to cleanse whatever oblivion that the boss may actually give you, oblivion or attack break. So Loren, if you're wondering why Loren is here as well, for other teams, Loren would be built on a tanky build on speed, HP for your slots 2, 4, and 6. But in this team, my Loren is built on an attack build. So she's actually runed on speed, if I'm not wrong, crit damage attack. But it's more attack. Your slot 4 is actually on crit rate or crit damage to make sure that your Loren actually crits. If you want for your Loren to deal more damage, you can put her on a slot 4 crit damage instead of crit rate, so that she has more crit damage to deal. Then why am I using Verd? Verd, if you've all built Verd for your dragons or your other builds, Verd is useful here because he actually increases the attack bar when he crits, and usually you would have built your Verd on 100% crit rate anyways. So Verd is useful here for that extra attack bar boost. Then Akhamamir would be useful there for the skill 2, which actually helps you to stun the trash waves if you cannot kill them quickly enough. Plus his skill 3 actually does decent damage even when there's no buffs. Even when there's like no debuffs there, he can actually help to clear the trash wave as well. So he basically has 2 AoEs. And in the boss stage, if you actually built Akhamamir on crit damage, his skill 2 actually deals pretty substantial damage because it's based on max HP, opponent's max HP. So okay, so let me get to the point where I talk about how to ruin your units. So firstly, we'll start with whoever's supposed to go first, Randy. I built my Randy on speed, crit damage, and HP on slots 2, 4, and 6. So you need your Randy to have at least plus 90 speed to make sure he goes first and he outspeeds everybody on the team. Of course, I built mine slightly faster at about like 216 or 220, I can't remember. So now Randy is built a bit faster such that he actually moves first, he takes more turns. Afterwards will come your Loren or either your Loren, your Riley, or your Verd. So your Loren needs to be built slightly tankier even though she's on a damage build. So you need either a speed, crit rate HP, speed, crit damage HP. But of course, if you can get that tanky stats on a speed, crit damage attack, feel free to go for it. But you need to make sure you can endure the hits from the boss wave and the trash waves, because those hits hurt. Those hits definitely really hurt. Especially because this team does not come with a attack break debuff, So make sure you build a tanky team. Uh, and make sure your Loren also has at least 70 to 80 crit rate and above, so that she consistently crits, even if she doesn't have buffs. Also, next up, who's moving will be Riley. Riley, make sure that you put her on a very tanky build. She doesn't have to be really fast, just really, really tanky. Make sure that she has at least 70 speed, as tanky as you can possibly get her, on probably 20k HP and plus 20k HP and above. Of course, if you can build her on Violent, feel free to put her on Violent. She can take more turns, get her skill 4 easier, and like buff more so that your team consistently gets more buffs. Of course, I suggest you also skilling up your Riley with other Rileys, but please do not use other totem girls. Please don't, because if you do, I will cry. But also, this is not recommended. Please do not use Devilmons as well, because Riley is a farmable unit. Next up, we will be talking about Verd. Okay, my Verd is built on a high crit rate build. I built him on speed, crit rate, attack. Of course, as you can see, he actually has more than 100% crit damage. But of course, you don't need to push for that high of a crit damage stat. You can always go for a low crit damage stat, because he's just there for the attack bar boost, which is his passive. Of course, if your Vert cannot handle the hits, feel free to put him on speed, crit rate, and HP. If you think that if he actually keeps dying in boss stages or in the trash wave. Then finally will come Akhamamir. My Akhamamir is built on speed, crit, damage, attack. So he's built on a more damage build because, of course, firstly you need the speed so that his skill 1 actually does damage. Secondly, you need the crit damage, because if there's no crit damage, your skill 2 or skill 3 won't do anything. So I suggest you build him on a slightly more damage build. Of course, if you want to build him on a more fast and tanky build, you can do that as well, because he does need to survive the boss and the trash waves, because he is a wind unit. This is a wind dungeon. Randy does not require that much tankiness. Same for Verd, because they're both fire units. So make sure to put a bit more tankiness in your Akhamamir, and also build high crit damage. I put mine on Violent, because Violent actually does pretty well. He can just proc from a skill 3 into a skill 2, or just proc for more skill cooldowns, so that he uses his skill 3 and skill 2 faster. Gets his skill 3 and skill 2 faster. This team usually averages at about 2 minutes. Of course, from this team, you can slowly progress into other teams, because Randy is replaceable with, of course, also Seek. But of course, Seek is a bit more, has higher rune requirements, because Seek actually has pretty low base stats, especially his base HP. So his base HP is about 6,000, which isn't great. So you'll probably need about plus 9,000 to ensure that he actually is able to take some hits from the boss and the trash waves as well, because the trash waves actually are a neutral element. So I suggest you build Randy first to ensure that your team can survive, and when you get higher rune quality, you can build Seek, and you can build your own teams. This guide is actually more for those who actually do not have units to try and experiment this with. So feel free to use this team. This team is relatively okay, relatively stable. So far, I have not failed with this team, because of Randy's defense buff actually helps to ensure that the team survives. So yeah, I'm gonna just let this run continue, and you guys can watch it as it finishes the 10x. Okay, so that would be the end of that testing for all those who are still watching the video. I really appreciate you guys for staying until the very end. I would also link the runes to those units after I finish the video as well. At the very end, I would put up the runes for all 6 units. Anyways, for all those who are still watching the video, really appreciate you guys watching the video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. This is ASASHI Arthuro signing off. Good nightmares, guys.